My ex-husband told our daughter to call me by my first name so his girlfriend could be mom. For 12 years, my own daughter introduced me as Jeannie until she found her birth certificate. The first time my daughter called me Jeannie instead of mom, she was 4 years old. And honestly, I laughed. Not because it didn't hurt, because I thought it was temporary. Children copy weird things constantly. Cartoons, teachers, whatever adults around them say repeatedly. So when my little girl ran into the kitchen smiling and yelled, "Jeannie, look what I drew," I smiled weakly and corrected her gently. "What do we call me, sweetheart?" She blinked innocently. "Jeannie." Then she pointed toward my ex-husband Ryan, standing near doorway. "Daddy said Ashley is mom now." I still remember how physically cold my body felt hearing that sentence, like somebody quietly opened a window inside my chest during winter. At first I thought misunderstanding. No father would intentionally teach his child, replacing her own mother, right? I wish that were true. My name is Jeannie Collins. I'm 46 years old now, and for 12 years my own daughter introduced me to people like I was distant family friend instead the woman who gave birth to her. Until one piece of paper hidden inside old filing cabinet destroyed every lie she'd been raised believing. And by then, the damage between us almost felt impossible repairing. I met Ryan when I was 21, working at small insurance office in Cleveland. Back then he was charming in exactly the dangerous way immature women mistake for confidence. Funny, protective, the kind making ordinary errands feel exciting. We married fast, too fast honestly, and within 2 years our daughter Lily was born. For a while, life genuinely seemed beautiful. Not perfect, but real. Tiny apartment, sleepless nights, secondhand furniture, baby bottles everywhere. The kind of exhausting happiness young parents barely appreciate while living it. Then Ryan changed. Or maybe he stopped pretending eventually. Longer nights out, less patience, more criticism. Everything I did somehow became wrong. Too emotional, too sensitive, too controlling. Classic manipulation pattern I only understood years later. Then came Ashley, 24 years old. Perfect makeup, social media smile, worked part-time at gym where Ryan suddenly started spending, quote, extra hours. Funny how obvious affairs become once you stop wanting alternative explanations. I confronted him eventually. He denied everything initially, then 3 weeks later asked for divorce. Just like that. Like our family was subscription service he no longer needed. Lily was only 3, and because Ryan earned significantly more money, hired expensive attorneys, and painted me as emotionally unstable after postpartum depression years earlier, custody battle became nightmare. I still hate remembering courtroom, honestly. Watching strangers discuss your motherhood like debating business contract destroys something inside you permanently. Eventually, we settled shared custody arrangement. But Ryan and Ashley already lived together before papers finalized. And slowly, Ashley started replacing me, at least publicly, matching Halloween costumes, mother-daughter photos online, school events, birthday parties. Ryan pushed image aggressively. Perfect blended family. Happy modern parenting. Meanwhile, I worked 2 jobs trying to survive emotionally and financially. Then came the Jeannie situation. Apparently, Ashley felt uncomfortable Lily calling 2 women mom. So Ryan solved problem by convincing our daughter that using my first name was more grown-up. Disgusting now thinking about it. But children trust parents automatically, especially charming manipulative ones. At first I corrected Lily constantly. "Sweetheart, I'm mom." But eventually she'd cry confused, saying, "Daddy says Ashley gets sad when I call you mom." Jesus Christ. Imagine weaponizing child's empathy against her own mother. One afternoon during custody exchange, I finally confronted Ryan directly. "You need stop this." He leaned casually against his truck, smiling slightly. "Stop what?" "Telling Lily not call me mom." Ryan shrugged. "She chooses what feels comfortable. She's 4. Then Ashley stepped outside holding smoothie, pretending innocence. "We're just trying to avoid confusing her emotionally." I almost lost control right there. Confusing her emotionally? The woman sleeping with married man, suddenly worried about emotional confusion? But family court already drained my savings and spirit. So instead screaming, I swallowed humiliation repeatedly for years. And honestly, that became biggest mistake. Because children eventually normalize whatever adults repeat consistently. By age 7, Lily introduced me everywhere as Jeannie. Teachers, friends, soccer coaches, everybody. Each time felt like tiny funeral, nobody else noticed. One evening after dance recital, another parent smiled politely and asked, "So your aunt or family friend?" I barely answered without crying. "No. I'm her mother." The woman looked horrified immediately. Meanwhile, Lily just looked confused. Because to her, this arrangement seemed normal. That's what broke me most. Not hatred, not rejection, conditioning. My own daughter slowly trained viewing me emotionally distant. Meanwhile, Ashley became mom. The lunch packing mom, the school volunteer mom, the social media mom. And me? I became weekend figure surviving around edges of her life. Still, I never stopped trying. Never missed birthdays. Never missed child support payment despite struggling constantly. I attended every recital, game, school concert allowed. Even when Lily barely acknowledged me afterward. Some nights after dropping her back at Ryan's house, I'd sit in parking lot crying until mascara burned my eyes. Because people underestimate how deeply parental rejection destroys mothers specifically. Society expects mothers remaining endlessly patient no matter how painful things become. And honestly, part me started believing maybe Lily truly loved Ashley more. Then something happened when Lily turned 13. Tiny changes initially. Questions. Awkward silences. Moments where she studied my face strangely. Puberty changes children. They start noticing inconsistencies adults assume hidden successfully. One afternoon during lunch together, she suddenly asked, "Why don't you ever get angry at Dad?" The question stunned me. I used to. Why stop? I thought carefully before answering. Because I didn't want you feeling trapped between us. She stared quietly at table, then whispered, "Ashley says you abandoned us." That sentence physically hurt. Not metaphorically. Real pain. because despite everything, I never once missed custody day voluntarily, never disappeared, never abandoned my child. But Ryan and Ashley apparently spent years rewriting history slowly, and children absorb repeated narratives like truth eventually. I wanted defending myself immediately. Instead, I asked softly, "What do you think?" Lily hesitated, then quietly admitted, "I don't know anymore." That was first crack. Small one, but important. Over next year, more appeared. Ryan became increasingly controlling as Lily grew independent. Ashley, meanwhile, obsessed over appearances constantly. Perfect family image online mattered more than reality privately. And teenagers notice hypocrisy fast. Then came the birth certificate. Honestly, the universe has strange timing sometimes. Lily was 16, helping organize old paperwork inside Ryan's home office while he traveled for business. Apparently, she searched for passport documents when accidentally finding locked file box. Inside sat custody papers, hospital records, and her original birth certificate. Under Mother, it clearly read, Jeannie Marie Collins. Not Ashley, not anyone else. Me. Simple fact, obviously. But beside certificate sat something worse. Old printed emails between Ryan and Ashley during divorce years. Lily later told me she only intended reading first few lines. Then she saw my name repeatedly, and curiosity became devastation. One email from Ashley said, "If she keeps insisting Lily call her mom, Lily will never bond properly with me." Ryan replied, "Don't worry. Kids adapt fast. Jesus Christ." Another message hit even harder. "If Jeannie acts emotional during exchanges again, we can document instability for future custody modifications." They strategized around my grief, like business problem, manipulated my daughter intentionally. And Lily read everything. Every ugly calculated sentence. That night around 11 p.m., my phone rang unexpectedly. Lily never called late, especially not crying. The second I answered, she whispered, "Why didn't you tell me?" My heart stopped. What happened? Long silence. Then, shattered sobbing. "Oh my God, what did they do to us?" I drove 40 minutes immediately. When I arrived, Lily sat outside neighborhood park wearing hoodie and holding stack of papers shaking uncontrollably. And honestly, seeing her face destroyed me, because she looked exactly like little 4-year-old girl first calling me Jeannie. Lost, confused, heartbroken. The moment she saw me, she burst into tears harder, then asked question I waited 12 years hearing. "Why did they make me stop calling you mom?" I couldn't speak initially, just held her while she cried against my shoulder. Eventually we sat quietly on swings, while midnight wind moved through empty playground. And slowly, I told her everything honestly. Not angrily, not manipulatively, just truth. The custody battle, the pressure, how every correction confused her more emotionally, how I eventually chose protecting her stability over winning title wars. Then Lily whispered something crushing. "I thought you didn't want being my mom anymore." That sentence nearly broke me permanently, because entire time I feared losing daughter's love. She secretly feared I stopped wanting her. That's what manipulation does. It poisons both sides differently. Over following weeks, absolute chaos exploded inside Ryan's house. Huge arguments, screaming matches. Ashley apparently insisted those old emails were taken out of context. Classic response when truth surfaces. Ryan tried minimizing everything too. "We were doing what seemed best at time." No, you were doing what protected your comfort. Big difference. Then came moment I'll never forget. 3 weeks after discovering birth certificate, Lily had parent-teacher conference regarding college prep planning. Ryan and Ashley attended. So did I. At end meeting, counselor smiled politely and asked, "And you are?" Before anyone else spoke, Lily looked directly at me and said, "This is my mom." Simple sentence. Only 4 words. But honestly, I almost cried right there inside school office. Then she pointed toward Ashley calmly. "And that's my dad's wife." Damn. Silence hit room instantly. Ashley looked physically slapped. Ryan stared downward, embarrassed finally. Meanwhile, I just sat there trying breathe normally. Because after 12 years, my daughter finally saw me clearly again. But healing wasn't instant afterward. People romanticize reconciliation too much. Truth is harder. Lily carried enormous guilt, realizing how deeply I'd been hurt. Meanwhile, I struggled hiding resentment toward years stolen from us. Sometimes she'd accidentally call me Jeannie, still out habit, then immediately look horrified. Every time, I'd smile softly and tell her, "It's okay." Because honestly, I never needed revenge. I just wanted my daughter back emotionally. And slowly, I got her back. We started spending more time together naturally. Coffee dates, road trips, late night conversations. And for first time since childhood, Lily started asking about my life too. My favorite music, my dreams before motherhood, my childhood memories. Turns out when children finally escape manipulation, curiosity returns naturally. Then one evening during senior year, Lily asked something unexpectedly. "Did you ever hate me?" That question shattered me instantly. I grabbed her hand across restaurant table. "Never. Even when I called you Jeannie?" Especially then, because deep down, I always knew little girls don't invent emotional distance alone. Adults teach it, and children survive however adults train them surviving. Before I finish this story, there's one final thing you should know. Last year, Lily graduated college. Huge ceremony. Hundreds of families everywhere taking photos. Afterward, while people gathered outside campus lawn, one of her professors approached smiling. "You must be Lily's mother," she said warmly. And before I could even answer, Lily wrapped arm around me proudly and said, "She's the strongest woman I know." Yeah, I cried immediately. Couldn't help it. Because maybe motherhood isn't defined by what children call you during painful years. Maybe real motherhood means loving them enough, waiting patiently until they finally see truth themselves. So now I want asking you something honestly. Do you think children eventually recognize which parent truly fought for them, even after years of manipulation?